What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Valorant Sunday Showdown. My name's Dilly G. I'm alongside the illustrious Jack Igo, and we had an incredible start to the day with an amazing first game of the group stage. ISP Flashback completing the comeback up against Last Round Save. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on those two teams to see how they fare in the rest of the group stage. But we are now moving our way down to Group H, where it's Aftermath Esports going up against Shopify Rebellion. Now, Aftermath Esports has had some really strong placements specifically in the VSS recently, but they have a new challenge in the way of them in the form of Shopify Rebellion, Jack, who have had some strong placements themselves recently.
They really, really have. And if you want to look at Shopify Rebellion, looking at Panini KP, Laurie Dan, and Flowerful, they got themselves into third, I believe, in the VCT Game Changers, narrowly losing out to CLG. But they are no laughing matter. They are no joke. They are all talent, and I believe they can really put this Aftermath team on the back burners. They're both of these teams, I believe, did win their first group game, so this could be the decider for who gets top seed in their group. But hey, looking at these two teams, looking at the left hand side at the Aftermath team, that's going to be a Sova, Cypher, Omen, Jet, and a KO already locked in, already ready to go. And on the Shopify side, we only have Flowerful locked in with that Killjoy.
Yeah, taking some time, a little bit of deliberation as may be necessary. I definitely understand because, as you said, this very well decides who takes top seed in their group, which has a big play on your place in that top 32 bracket. So these teams will be wanting to stake their claim on that top spot if possible. And one thing I am really impressed to see here from the teams we've seen thus far here in the group stage is the willingness to opt for KO. The teams must be really respecting the strength of the kit of that agent. We said it when the broadcast started here today. At least personally, I didn't expect to see very much KO, but these teams, they are not shying away from this new pickup, this new variable to their team comp.
Yeah, it changes the whole dynamic of attacks, and even when it comes to holding sites and defense. I mean, when you're attacking with a KO with the pop flashes, even with your darts that can kind of suppress any of the agents within that area, it cancels out and it gives so much information at the flick of a switch, really. And then when you're defending for the same reason with the exact same darts, you can also cancel out any opponents who may be creeping their way up towards the site that you're trying to hold. I mean, the variables really with the KO are kind of unknown yet. We don't really know the ins and outs of this agent. I think we're all just kind of picking up bits and pieces as we go along. We get to see how some of these players can master it. So we're going to see Foon on Aftermath try and hold that one out now, as he is the only KO, I believe, in the lobby. There's going to be no KO on the side of Shopify Rebellion, going for the more conventional route with the Killjoy, Sova, Jet, Sage, and Omen.
Very much standard team composition here for Shopify, but definitely have to respect it. And especially as tumultuous as these group stages are going to be, you can definitely understand a team wanting to have some comfort picks in the pocket, some agents that will bring stability to their plays. And you can already see the playbook for Shopify Rebellion in full swing here, already taking great control of Garage and C Long here to spill out onto the site. The pitch almost not even necessary as I Drink Juice has backed away all the way to the defending side corridor here. Now unable to get much of an angle there as the spike goes down. I Drink Juice, the only defender close by, does have backup now coming in as the spike goes down, but look at Flowerful on the flank.
Yeah, it's just the positioning. I guess it's the real QB sneak, really, as they send everyone over towards A using lots of util and forcing some of these agents to try and play for that A pick. As the shots come on in, they're trading each other out. Panini backside is jumping, trying to get some shots off KP, last alive. She's trying to get it all the way back now in towards the long. She knows she has to jiggle that. She has to just check that they're not on the spike. They are on the spike. They're going to tank it. They're going to take one down. But KP clutches on up, secures a 4K, and secures the first round in favor of Shopify Rebellion.
Oh, number one Penguin on the server. 4-0-0 is KP. An excellent start to the round for Shopify Rebellion. And I mean, we saw it play out through the entirety of that round. The positioning was immaculate. The playbook very much in play for the side of Shopify Rebellion. And Aftermath Esports, I'm sure this is nothing unexpected for them. They knew they were getting a tough opponent here, but now they have been treated to the full extent extent of the problem before them. And the problem really for Aftermath Esports now, not only adapting to the what is going to be a solid Shopify playbook, is the trickiness of defending Haven here. This three-side map, you can't avoid it when you're talking about it. You can't avoid how tough it is for the defenders to cover all of this real estate. Shopify Rebellion taking the quick hit onto A site, taking advantage of the defending positions here, now get themselves a place to set the spike down with the clock. Oh, they consider it. They actually trying to bait out Aftermath Esports here, and here comes the retake, maybe a bit prematurely, but the kills lighting up green and red, and 3 kills going the way of Aftermath Esports, and you have to say an impressive trade for the side, bringing Just Classics into the fight. Shopify Rebellion, though, a little cheeky with that fake spike plant there, got the retake in swing maybe a little bit before it was really ready to.
Yeah, and I think it prompted the defenders to push out from that smoke. And credit to Hoot, who has got himself 5 elims now on the back of 2 pistol rounds without a buy. We do see Aftermath now are going to be able to afford that full buy now, trying to combat the bonus buy from Shopify. But it's an interesting one, to say the very least, when you want to consider how that one was played. The first time around, we did see the playbook coming out. Maybe it could have been a lackluster call, sending some players back over towards A site when the execute came onto C. But now we look at the bomb at the bottom of C site as the spray comes in from I Drink Juice, trying to get any tap fire possible. Does tank that recon dart as Foon is sat with all the KO. He's going to get some shots on in, and now he has to move. That's Diana is going to try and get that pick as they push through. AMCJB is going to get some hits on in. That's a huge head dink onto Flowerful. That's going to be down to 10 HP following the headshot with the Phantom as she pulls on back. Hoot is now sat inside of the smoke. Oh, the jet smoke comes in. He just creeps out of the smoke, and Diana lands an incredible shot with the Sheriff as Han now picks up I Drink Juice as well. Oh, on the buy, Foon is going to pick another one as well. It's a 3 versus 4. They're actually going to be a man down now, unfortunately, and that could be problematic as they try and retake side. CJB now may have to try and play with the smokes. Foon is in fact going to get on the bomb with the wall covering. Oh no, that could be huge. The wall is cover. The ice wall acts as cover and gives them a free take. The wall does in fact impede their line of sight, and that's a free round to Aftermath. That was so unlucky, so poorly executed, unfortunately. But hey, they're going to have weapons now this time around. It just seems as though that could have been played so much more differently, especially when they had that one agent advantage following the fall of the second player for Aftermath.
I what to say about that one? I think Foon. It was interesting. Foon there. I think kind of like went to the spike. Like, wait, can I do this? Can I get away with this? And then upon the realization that that wall was providing the best possible protection for that position, Foon stuck the defuse, and a win for Aftermath Esports. And around where they would have wanted to pull out that win was their first full buy of the match. So they're able to get that. Keep that momentum rolling from that third round, and now Shopify with the full buy in response need to get solidify and secure their lead here in this round, and they're once again making the quick A play. Hand gets the opening kill, and Diana chimes in with the kill onto Hoot, so 2 opening kills going towards the attackers as well. They have that Hunter's Fury available in the pocket. Foon now filling out onto site, takes down the Sage, and Panini there with the revenge onto I Drink Juice. Diana now holding down Hell, dashes out of Hell for the reposition. Foon sniped down, takes the Hunter's Fury, but it's the gun from Panini mowing down the KO, and Shopify Rebellion quickly steady the ship in the storm.
Yeah, you mentioned, I believe, in a round before how wide and how split this map can be, Haven. There's no real way of preempting where your enemies are going to go unless you can quite literally see through walls. So you've got to guess every single time. You got to try and gamble where you're going to stack more players if you're going to have 1 man per entry point, which can sometimes work, but it can also be a little bit lackluster as well, because it just takes 2 people to trade each other, and all of a sudden space has been compromised. So now it looks as though there's going to be 1 man on C. That's going to be I Drink Juice throwing down the shock dart, and that's going to be taken up by Diana, who is going to push up immediately. And now the C site take is already in play.
Yeah, Shopify Rebellion has been brilliant with these quick executes. They're not wasting any time. And more importantly, they're not giving Aftermath any time to respond to what they're doing here across the map. And Flowerful now taking advantage of the rotate with that mid positioning. We've seen it before and we see it again now to devastating effect, taking down Hoot. And Flowerful now holding down the mid corridor, picks up the double kill. This is KJ on a rampage now, pushing through Garage. Oh, you see the drop down from Churro, and that is doom for the defenders. Flowerful on the 4K, denied the ace by CJB, picks up the Vandal, and now in a 1v4 position. CJB may swing for the fences here, may try to hit a home run clutch, but the clock and the spike and Diana working against them. It's Shopify Rebellion once again building upon that advantage, and it's been exceptional thus far. Aftermath Esports certainly not short of talent, all really strong players here, but we can see the positioning from Shopify Rebellion, specifically Flowerful on the backside here, picking up the quadra kill on the defenders here. Exceptional stuff from Shopify Rebellion.
Exception is right. Flowerful just took all the time in the world to try land the shots. CJB landing that fatal shot onto Flowerful, denying the ace, which would have been a great spectacle in a game like this, of course. Shopify Rebellion leading by 3 rounds. Now with the A push, but they are in fact going to have a problem, as there is going to be 2 players crawling their way into a short, and the shots come in, but Churro will take down Flowerful. Diana will trade that one out. So now CJB is going to be at the top of a short. The smoke's coming on in, kind of preempting their movement, trying to force them back if that is at all possible. It looks as though that is the only option for this team. The omen now for Shopify Rebellion is going to start at the bottom. C-Long may try and make a claim towards side, try and make some moves here as they do crawl their way now through spawn to join up with their team. I Drink Juice holding this off angle now at the back of Seaside, holding the entrance somehow. Does have the location dart available to him. May go to use it just now, maybe now. Oh, and there is all the audio cues you need. There's all the visual cues you need. He's going to have to try and show him the shock dart. Uh-oh, and that's going to be the Bladestorm active inside of the smoke, ready to move, ready for action. Is this going to be the play? Do they know that there's someone inside of the smoke? I don't know if they do or not. The location dart's going to come on in now, hitting the floor just outside of the smoke. Here is the play. Diana just crawling inside of the smoke, waiting for the moment. Just a blind fire, really hoping to hit that lucky shot. Oh no, that's going to be the KO util now, taking away the ult. Oh, and that's going to be a huge shot. The ult being used takes down the Bladestorm, but the shots are going to come in. Diana did get one to trade on out. Who is going to try and land some shots now onto KP? KP flushes that one out as well. CJB versus KP, and KP does not hesitate to clutch on up. That's another round of Shopify Rebellion. 4 rounds in it now from the attacking side.
What a tumultuous round it was as well, but that's where the consistency from Shopify Rebellion really shines through. And you saw the situational awareness there from KP. We saw it from the view of CJB there, actually, with the observer wall hacks, as it were. We saw KP initially with that pushes towards the right side of the box in the middle of C site, and immediately understands that, all right, if CJB isn't on this angle, they're coming from the left side, and immediately KP made that adjustment, and their crosshair was in the perfect place to win that 1v1, deliver another round into the hands of Shopify Rebellion. Aftermath Esports, I'm not sure they would have expected to come off winning this half here, as tricky as it can be to defend on Haven. That being said, though, they need to put their foot down somewhere. They need to stop the bleeding in some way, or this match gets further and further out of hand as we move on. CJB here looking to turn the tides with that updraft. Not going to find a target this time around.
Not going to find one this time, but now the shots are going to come in for the retake. This is the economy buy now for Aftermath, who are trying to make whatever they got count. Holding the crossfire, assembling now is going to be Laurie, and Diana trying to hold that close angle. The shock dart is going to tank so much info. That's going to be the location dart as well, feeding out all of the opponents. Purple getting 3. The knives coming on in, and Diana doesn't hesitate to take down CJB. That is 6-1 on the board. Shopify holding their lead and holding it quite strong. I just think the way that they've been playing, they just alternating really between these slow approaches and these fast approaches. It just seems as though Aftermath can't keep up with their sheer and utter pace. And I think, to no surprise, Diana and Flowerful are really putting on a show here, dropping 9 and 8 respectively.
Yeah, absolutely. 17 kills for that duo, just 7 rounds in now. Spectacular stats coming from the Shopify squad here. Up 6-1. The Hunter's Fury from I Drink Juice is actually going to land serious damage onto Flowerful. Won't find the kill, but that's no armor and a big chunk of HP taken away from the KJ. So Aftermath Esports here trying to re-establish themselves in this match where they haven't really had much of a foothold to build upon. Shopify Rebellion. As Jack said, they've been so good with quick hits, but they've been so good in these battles of attrition where they wear out the utility, they draw out the resources of Aftermath Esports. They're just biding their time, they're making the right play, and here comes the hit on the C-side, but CJB holding it down on C-side, gets that opening kill, forcing the resurrection onto Panini. I Drink Juice, meanwhile, takes down Diana on the flank here. Foon popping off on C-side, picks up the double kill, and Shopify Rebellion maybe just a bit too confident this time around, lose out to the Seaside defense of Aftermath Esports. And with only 40 seconds remaining on the clock, the spike firmly out of hands, firmly under Aftermath control. Looks like Shopify Rebellion are going to give away a second round here in this half. Panini unable to find the spray onto I Drink Juice. Flowerful, just 34 HP remaining. And Aftermath Esports with a solid response after that initial slide.
Yeah, the likelihood now, I'm afraid, of a Flowerful retake with 34 HP against 5 players is a little bit unlikely, as we do see Flowerful is going to try and make the move. CJB will finish off the job. Shopify Rebellion, I think all that happened there was that Aftermath just didn't bite the bait. They didn't bite the bait with the lockdown. I think the L drone gave them all the info they needed, that there was only going to be one player dashing up into sight. I don't think anyone else came up from short, which is all the L drone needed to get. Once they noticed there was only one player making their way onto site, they kind of recognized and stuck with their gamble. They had 2 players already situated, already on C site, just preparing, waiting for that onslaught. So we're going to resume with the action now again. 6-2 on the board. Shopify Rebellion still lead by 4, but the game is far from over yet. This is very much an attacker-sided map.
Absolutely. Aftermath Esports, they just need to really survive this half with limited damage, and limited damage is not on CJB's mind. They're going for maximum damage on the attackers. That's the spike dropped here in H4, and Shopify, they had to make a big play to try and get it back, but it's a big play for the side of Aftermath Esports, now working away at that deficit on the defending side of Haven. This is what we wanted to see from this match. This is to decide the top seed in Group H, and Aftermath Esports now really swinging for the fences, trying to secure that top spot. CJB popping off with the double kill.
Yeah, that double kill just really acted as a bit of like a haymaker, really. Just set them back. It stunned them, really. Shopify didn't really have an answer for a Panini there. We see getting taken down by CJB, securing his third. But looking at the leaderboard again, it just seems as though it's all going to be working in their favor. That's going to be the pop flash coming out now from the KO, falling back once more. CJB is going to try and claim some grass if he possibly can. I don't think he's too interested in doing so. So they are going to sit now back inside of the window in garage. As the B push looks as though it's about to be played, that's going to be the drone not getting the ping onto the Sova I think that it was looking for, which is a bit unfortunate for the Sova on the part of the attackers even. So now we see Panini and in fact Diana trying to crawl the way on in, trying to get the shots on through, but CJB does not hesitate to take him down.
Yeah, CJB now feeling really confident here with those plays, feeling really able to take on those challenges around those angles. And now Shopify Rebellion, that would have been only the second time there that they've gone for a B play, and the first time didn't exactly work out brilliantly for them. So they will go for this A side play. Is a 4v5 now, 40 seconds remaining. Does look like they will be able to get the spike down here safely, but Aftermath Esports more than ready for this retake.
Just seems so prepared for it as it moves on through the slow orb now being thrown into heaven by Laurie, just trying to get any shots they can. The location there revealing the area that's going to be the Hunter's Fury coming in now from KP, trying to feed these players back off the side. It's a 3 versus 2. Make that a 3 versus 1. KP, I believe, is only in short. Does have the shock dart in hand and is going to hit that one hard. Has to hit even harder if he wants to do any more damage. And unfortunately, she won't be able to finish off the job. That is going to be a defuse coming in for Aftermath. It's 6-4 on the board following round 10.
Yeah, 3 rounds in a row now for Aftermath Esports, and still Shopify Rebellion here able to put together some solid buys here. They didn't come to the table with a full suite of kit there for that 10th round, as it were. So they're coming to the 11th, swinging much bigger bats here. But Shopify Rebellion, in a half where they were firmly in control, now are fighting for control of this half here. Could very well be a 6-6 half should things keep going the way they are. Shopify Rebellion will certainly feel they deserve to come out of this half with a leading edge, but now they're going to have to really fight for it here as Aftermath Esports seem to have settled in on the defending side. CJB once again confidently pushed up to challenge these angles, loses or wins out over Panini. Panini there pushing, gets the barrel spotted out. Diana will be able to find a bit of revenge onto Foon there in Garage, but Shopify Rebellion gonna have to pull away from that C-site play.
If they have to pull away, that was a very, very good pick onto Foon inside of Garage Window. So now Flarful dropping the alarm bot, holding the flank, getting ready. It looks as though the A execute is going to be the play. Just holding now is going to be the Sova, actually. In fact, maybe they've changed their mind. They're falling back again. Of course, they have 50 seconds to play with. There's no rush, really. As regards playtime, we have Churro sat with the cam now, looking through B for any info being made available to him. As we have KP with the spike crawling her way in towards B side. She sees 2 players. Now they have that queue. Now they have all the info they need. That's going to be the wall coming up from Laurie now, blocking out the left-hand side. The wall will in fact get taken down, and the recon there is going to feed out Churro's location as Diana picks up I Drink Juice.
Oh.
And now they know they have some freedom onto A site. Now they have the freedom, so that's going to be Diana now crawling through CT, maybe trying to play for some of these retake picks as KP is also getting closer to side. The shots coming in, Diana is going to get Churro, but now Hoot will take off Diana as well. KP with the shock dart is just going to sit there and slap one into the face of Hoot. It's going to be 7-4, 3 rounds in. It's Shopify Rebellion really making these attackers rounds count.
Yeah, that was brilliant stuff from Shopify Rebellion, and really excellent heads-up awareness in the game to understand they needed to bring something a little bit different to that round to destabilize Aftermath Esports, and that little something different was Diana on that flank, that sneaky little push that frankly I didn't even see coming until the kills started rolling in. Diana pulled the rug out from under Aftermath Esports in that round, and we said prior to it, Shopify Rebellion were going to want to regain control of this half. This is a half they feel they would have deserved the leading edge. Well, they've got themselves the leading edge, and now they're going to see how sharp that edge can get. Can they get themselves an 8th round to close out the half? Diana with the Flamestorm on the hunt. Oh, unlucky. Who wins out? Now the Jet off the table here for Shopify Rebellion in a 4v5.
And then it also gives away all the information they needed. So the Jet now on the defender side is going to sit down in A short, may start to make the rotate now, as they do have information of all of these players on top of C side. The KO ult is going to disable any of their abilities, so Smoke's no longer an option for the attackers who are sat on site, somewhat exposed, it's somewhat bare, as they're just trying to get any shots they can possibly get on in towards the spike. Still not down for Shopify Rebellion as Who just comes in and sweeps them all up. Foon's going to pick up Panini, and at the end of the half, it's going to be 2 rounds in favor of Shopify Rebellion, 7-5 on the board.
Well, really impressive closeout to the half there from Aftermath Esports. For all our talk of Shopify Rebellion's playbook and how well their synergy was looking in that half, Aftermath Esports very much weathered the storm. We said earlier on in that first half, Aftermath starting out on the defending side, the unfavored side of this map. They simply needed to survive, and Aftermath Esports can check that box off the to-do list. They very much survived that half, got themselves in a favorable position to start off this second half, and now Aftermath Esports, it's really their turn to show us what they can do. Can Aftermath Esports deal with Shopify Rebellion on the back foot, get themselves the edge, get themselves the win? Aftermath Esports, now the time to prove themselves here in the second half. Second match of group stage, this very well could decide the top seed of Group H. Both these teams gunning for that top seed, and Foon out onto B site already now, gunning down the members of Shopify Rebellion, sends out the flash, but it's Diana Panini getting the opening 2 kills for Shopify Rebellion.
Oh my, those shots were incredible. They got them on in. I think they got the information very early somehow that they just had no one on B side, so they just ran straight out of grass and in. Who now has to clear his left? Isn't going to clear it. Clay P is going to take him down. Diana will take down I Drink Juice. That's going to be at least one defensive side round in favor of Shopify Rebellion, the first off the pistols in the second half.
Absolutely, and that's big stuff for Shopify Rebellion in a half where the rounds may be few and far between them. They're very much in a position where they can still trickle out rounds from Aftermath Esports and still come out on top, building off that small little cushion they got themselves in the first half. But I'm sure Shopify Rebellion wouldn't really like it to go that way. They'd like a clean sweep. They want to get these next 5 rounds all right in a row. That pistol well certainly bodes well for them. They're 2-0 pistol rounds here in this second group stage match. And now Aftermath Esports' biggest thing they're bringing to the table here is just one lowly sheriff. Let's see what they can get done with it. Diana here, doesn't need abilities, doesn't need any sort of help, is just going to gun down the opposition. Panini says, I'll help out anyway. Gets a kill of their own as Flowerful takes down Hoot on site. And that is the attack from Aftermath Esports done and dealt with.
Dismantled to its core as Diana finishes off the job and takes down Foon. They just had no answer when that's when they really needed it the most, and down they fall. 9-5 on the board now. It is going to be the full buy, I'd imagine, coming out now from the attackers in Aftermath following the second pistols. The bonus buy still intact for Shopify Rebellion. I mean, now is their chance to really put on the afterburners, to really make it count, really. But there's no real way of calling it. It all comes down to the gunfights. This could be a very important round. If Aftermath were to lose this, I personally, if I was a betting person, I'd be putting all of my money against them. Shopify Rebellion have just been so strong in their approach.
Very much a tone-setting round for the rest of this half. Shopify Rebellion shoring up the defense on that B site, but Aftermath Esports not going to rush to get themselves into any sort of trouble in this round, understanding what rides on this round here. Shopify Rebellion, surprised, frankly, they didn't decide to invest maybe just a little more into this round here. We could see that not pay off for them in the greatest ways here, but I would certainly trust their strategists over my own. That being said, so Shopify Rebellion here with the SMGs looking to take on the rifles of Aftermath Esports, get themselves onto double digits. Hoot, though, has been so good for Aftermath Esports, doing a bit of peeking through C long, but the rest of the attackers have kind of snuck their way over towards the A side of the map, and with only KP holding down the site, that may be the play. And a little scuffed recon bolt there isn't gonna, does actually not scuffed at all, a perfect recon bolt there. KP with the Galaxy Brain there spots out the attackers. They will be able to try and get that spike down. They don't have it down quite yet, and now KP lurking through heaven as the bullets rain through. The spike goes down on A site, and now Shopify setting up the retake.
Setting up the retake is right. So KP was the only person left on site, unfortunately, and she wasn't able to get the info she needed. She did get that the recon bolt down, but now we do see the retake coming in full force and with full speed. Hoot takes down KP now as well. It's a 4 versus 3. Hoot, they watch them line up. Panini takes the trade onto Hoot now. Mid reload, CJB is going to catch out Panini. It is going to be 6-9 on the board. Aftermath still well and truly in this one, live and kicking.
Absolutely, very much still alive. Buys are going to be maybe a little lighter than Aftermath would have wanted. You see the couple sets of light armor there for Foon and Hoot, but it has to be said, Hoot has been playing so exceptionally well throughout the entirety of this match, through the ups and downs here for Aftermath Esports, and now Aftermath Esports with a prime opportunity to get themselves back within 2 rounds of Shopify Rebellion, start working away at that deficit in Shopify Rebellion. They want to deal the death dagger right here. They want to land that KO punch, but CJB takes the head off of Diana, says maybe not in this round. It's the 16th round here, and Shopify Rebellion quickly find themselves in a 3v5. This is disaster for the defenders.
It's disaster, especially now on what was initially an even buy round, as it looks like they're kind of splitting sides here. Panini's just going to try and make a claim of grass here. So whatever side they do choose to execute on, they probably have that info. It might not be B. KP maybe catches a line of sight with the Omen. as we see Panini crawling the way up. No, blindsides the Cypher, so Churro falls, and there's the upshot. KP lands that one and takes down Foon. An incredible shot. The recon bolt now onto the back side. Oh, did they get the line of sight on the Jet? I think the Jet saw KP. I don't think KP saw the Jet. As the spike goes down inside of the smoke, there's 3 players holding it. Oh, and KP showing up, getting his shots in. Flowerful gets one. I Drink Juice 1 versus 1. Flowerful versus I Drink Juice, down to what looks like as little as 10 HP. Flowerful is going to get this shot done in. Clutches on up on the retake, and that's going to be Shopify Rebellion moving into a 4-point lead, a 4-round lead, sorry, in this tie. What a retake.
That is mega from Shopify Rebellion. That is a round for the highlight reel. That was absolutely beautiful. Shopify Rebellion gave away 2 kills to start off this round. They're in a 3v5, but positioning, the understanding of the situation paid off dividends. And even in the face of I Drink Juice popping off on C-Site, picking up the double kill, Flowerful stays cool, calm, collected, clutches it out for Shopify Rebellion. Beautifully played from the Shopify side. They get themselves onto those all-important double digits. They are 3 rounds away from an ensured top spot in the group, that first seed in Group H. They're just 3 rounds away, and Aftermath Esports now back on the back foot here. Diana on the hunt with the Bladestorm. CJB with the Bladestorm of their own, rushing out onto C-Site, and Panini backs away. KP now back in that corridor as well.
And she is going to get revealed as well by that location there. So CJB is going to get closer, but it's going to tank that one. KP with the shot. Panini takes down Hood as well. It's a 5 versus 2 immediately. So that's going to be Foon taking down Laurie, I believe. Classic in hand, that is going to be location reveal. Flowerful takes down Foon. Last alive is going to be I Drink Juice with the Hunter Fury. I think recognizing its value isn't really there for this round against 4 players, and Flowerful will take him down. It's going to move to 11-6 to Shopify Rebellion. 5 rounds in it, and I think momentum is definitely on their side.
Very much in the driver's seat. They've set cruise control. They've got the AC set just right, and their favorite tunes on the radio. Shopify Rebellion cruising to a victory here in this second match of the group stage. Aftermath Esports have dealt them some speed bumps, have dealt them some obstacles, but it's been too overwhelming from the Shopify side for Aftermath Esports. And now Aftermath Esports very much on their last chances of this match. They still are up 1-0 right now in this group stage. Both of these teams having won their first group stage match. So Aftermath Esports, should they drop this game in the end, they still have that third match of the group stage to solidify their spot in today's top 32. But right now, Aftermath Esports, you can tell by the tactical timeout being called, they've been a bit stunned, they've been a bit shaken, and they've got to recollect themselves here for this second half. They're just 2 rounds away now from dropping this second group stage match.
And yeah, you can tell they're just shaken really by the actions really coming out from Shopify Rebellion. I think if you were to ask Shopify Rebellion what they think of Aftermath, they'd take them shaken, not stirred. They've had all the control they've all they've needed. So now we do get to see this round begin to slowly resume. No spike in the hand of the attackers, unfortunately. So we'll see that resume very shortly, I would imagine. Looks as though they're going to make... It looks like a C-split push here, if I'm not mistaken, with the Cypher setting the util up towards A site. Now the location dart over towards grass is going to feed them away as best as possible. So CJB is going to try and get a claim now into garage doors, where Flowerful is ready to take on what looks to be 3 players, with the Owl Drone, coming in to try and catch out all 3 of those players, as CJB is already up on site, and maybe with the less strengthful guns coming in, making a bit of a play over towards side as she pushes CT as well. The Hunter's Fury getting some heavy damage now as well onto I Drink Juice.
I Drink Juice having to dodge away from death there, and now the shots raining through garage. I Drink Juice gets the headshot onto Flowerful, but it's KP picking up the double kill for Shopify Rebellion. Diana cleans up shop with a double kill of their own. Shopify Rebellion very much onto match point, and it was never in doubt in that round. Simply perfectly executed from the Shopify side. They're just one round away from a perfect start to their VSS journey here in week number 61. We've had two exceptional games thus far today, and we've got many, many more on the way. So definitely stick around after Shopify potentially close this one out, or are we in store for yet another comeback here, all to decide here in this 19th round?
Absolutely, it's all to play for, really, as we have. It's a 6 match points, really, are in favor now of Shopify Rebellion. A big shout to Diana as well, going 20 and 11 with the Jet, the op, just so punishing. As we see Diana trying to move her way up through short, will get pinged by the Cypher Cam, is going to try and push back as Laurie gets a shot onto CJB. The advantage is already in there. It's going to be Laurie trying to get a shot onto Churro. Churro will get taken down by Laurie as well. It's a 5 versus 3 immediately, and they still have the op holding the tight angle. Hoot will take down Laurie as well. Feeding back offside how they can. That's going to be the recon bolt tagging Diana now, I believe, from the L drone. KP has already begun to flank. The paranoia is going to catch both of those players left. The last two alive. Down goes Foon, who's the last player standing, making the way towards CT. He's going to get pinged as well by the L drone, throwing the paranoia, trying to get whatever claim of sight they can, tanking the shock dart. The spike is being defused. Panini gets half, trying to trade it out, gets Diana, but Panini finishes the job. Who couldn't secure the ace? And Shopify Rebellion are going to beat Aftermath Esports and progress as the top seed in Group H.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from the Shopify Rebellion side. As I said earlier, it was almost never in doubt. All credit, though, to Aftermath Esports putting together some truly valiant rounds, especially when they were on that attacking side, which is, of course, historically so difficult on Haven. They still made it work from time to time. Just Shopify Rebellion came with the playbook today, and it was just too well polished for the side of Aftermath Esports. So they're back to the drawing board. They'll, I'm sure, have some new recipes in store for us the next time around, but they've also still got another game on the way, a third group stage match of the day for them to secure their spot in the top 32. And our match MVP here for this second group stage of the match is Diana on the Jet. 21, 12, and 4 combat score, 296, certainly the highest we've seen yet today. Diana put on a spectacular performance, just consistently getting kills throughout the entirety of that match, and then when she had the op in her hands, the match practically ended.
Match practically ended. I think the op shots just proved to be a little bit too much for Aftermath Esports. There was no real reply, really, as they all tried to progress up. Diana was just too clinical with it, really. 4 first bloods we see in her hands. That's incredible. It's incredible to see. That's going to be a 13-6 win for Shopify Rebellion, who do progress, I believe, as top seed in their group. Huge shout to Hoot as well, dropping 20 and 15 in a game where it seemed to be really up against them, I suppose, in the group stages. But of course, it's all to play for yet, as Aftermath did win their first game. They will go into their final game hoping they can also progress through the group stage.
Absolutely. So all of these teams have one more match in the group stage to decide their fate before we move on to the top 32. We're going to take a short 2-minute break, and we'll be right back with our final group stage match of the day, deciding our top 32 for this week's Valorant Sunday Showdown. Stick around. You definitely don't want to miss it.